Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on our show this week. Each Monday we have different organizations and different individuals that come into our studio here to talk about things that are going on around the area. And many times it's information that we don't know about here at the studio, and hopefully it brings information to you that you're not familiar with. And we do have a lot of great organizations and individuals that do a lot of volunteering of their time and in trying to make our community the place that you enjoy living. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. We're going to talk with two young ladies from the Boone County Library.
Attention safe drivers, keep your vehicle safe with new tires from Worley Tire. Stop in and visit with our friendly and knowledgeable staff and get the tires that are best for your car, truck, or SUV. You can even shop with us online at WorleyTire.com. Worley Tire also features batteries, alignments, tire rotation, and repair. Visit us on the web and like us on Facebook for the latest deals and specials that can keep you and your family safe. Worley Tire, 804 East Stevenson in Harrison.
John was the first one to be an inpatient here, and everything was great. And I had heard some negative things about the hospital, and I'm going, what are you talking about? This hospital's great. Why would you want to travel over to Fayetteville when you have this great hospital? All the nurses, everybody, phenomenal.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first two guests in the studio today from the Boone County Library, Ginger Milan, who comes in a lot to see us. And today we have Katie Blessing. Katie, thank you for coming in with Ginger today, her first time to be here. Ginger, why don't you tell us a little bit about, Ginger always comes in and I always ask her one question. She goes through this whole thing and she apologized. She apologized for not sending me any questions today, but when she came in, I don't need any questions. I just know, ask one, Ginger takes over and gives you all the information. Ginger, thank you
well,
again.
Thank you, Dennis.
So some subjects that we want to talk about. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, as you know, we always have lots of things going on at the library, and I do want to mention just really quickly the things that happen every week. We have our wonderful children's department. We have story time activities for the toddlers from birth to 36 months, our preschool story time, and then we have our after school story time, and then we have Katie who directs our teen program, so that's weekly, and I probably don't mention that enough, but I think most people know that we do that every week. I do adult programs, and we have several events each month, and this month we've had many, but the one that I am most excited about is a concert that we have coming up Friday, February the 26th. It's still on the Hill. They are a dynamic folk singing couple. They write almost all their own songs. Still on the Hill is made up of Kelly and Donna Mulholland. They've been around for quite some time. Many people are familiar with them. The Arkansas Democrat-Gazette did a big article on them about 3 weeks ago. And so they're going to come and perform, but they also are going to do a book signing because Kelly has spent a lot of time with a gentleman who lives in Carroll County, Ed Stilley. Ed Stilley was out in his field. He's just a farmer out in his field, and he had a near-death experience which led to a religious experience. And he vowed to God that he would make instruments for children and give them away. So he's been doing that since the mid-1970s, and he makes them out of anything and everything that he could find, and some of them are quite unusual. And on every instrument he makes, he writes, inscribes true faith, true light, have faith in God. It's a beautiful book. It was published by the University of Arkansas Press, and so Kelly, after the concert, he will have a table set up and will be selling those books and signing them. some of those instruments are butterfly shaped. They're just amazing. I wish I had the book to show, but it stays checked out all the time at the library. So that is this Friday. We have outgrown our space. Our meeting room holds 50 people, and we're expecting many more than that. So we're having it at St. John's Episcopal Church in their parish hall, and that address is 707 West Stevenson. So we're expecting a large crowd, and so if you have any questions, just call the library, or you can email me, Ginger Milan at BooneCountyLibrary.org. Another thing that we have coming up that I'm really excited about, a series of technology classes. I think we had people of a certain age in mind when we came up with these, but we have the Harrison High School East Lab students who are going to teach these technology classes, and who better to teach us technology than a bunch of kids? These are on Mondays. The first one will be past this broadcast, but the second one is February the 29th. It involves using an iPhone or an Android, and it's how to use FaceTime and how to iMessage. And for those of you who are patrons of the library or live in our community, and maybe you have a new iPhone and you have grandchildren you'd like to see in person, this is a good way to learn to do that. So that's February 29th. It's 4 Mondays in a row, beginning at 1:45 and lasting about an hour and a half.
As you can see, I told you, Ginger just takes off, and here we go. So I didn't have to ask anything. She explained all that to you. One thing about the Boone County Library, for those of you in the viewing audience that you maybe don't understand about the library, most of the things they do, it's free to the public. They have all kinds of classes, they have concerts, they have book signings, they have you name it. But, a lot of things that the library has that, from the old days, in my day, when you went and checked out a book, and that's pretty well all you could do at the library. Now technology has taken over the libraries as well as our lives, and you can go there and you can do resumes, you can get online. They have computers available to the public that you can sit down and look up whatever you want to, and so much of it has changed than what it used to be. Again, in my day, you were talking about you're an older person. I'm older too, but it's nice to have the library, because the library is here. We actually in Boone County, the Boone County Library, and here in Harrison, been here for many years, but it's expanded through that time, and their services have expanded, and we're very fortunate to be a community of our size to have a library like we have.
Well, thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, it's very nice to have. Okay, let's get Katie Blessing, who is going to talk a little bit about some of the programs that you handle. Katie, tell us a little bit about yourself real quick.
I'm Katie Blessing. I just recently graduated from Arkansas State University, and I am in charge of the young adult department at the library.
Okay.
And we've got a lot of really great programs coming up for children and for young adults. And for me, it has always been really important to keep reading and learning a part of young adults' lives, because they're getting to that age where they're getting out of school. But one of the things that I have going on this year, I started a reading challenge, and basically there's 14 different categories. If they finish 7, they'll get a small prize, and if they finish all 14, they'll get to pick a book to keep for themselves, and they'll get their names put in a drawing to win a grand prize at the end of the year. And then we also have a blind date with a book still going on. That's about to end at the end of this month. But what that is, we have books at the library that are wrapped, and then they'll check those books out, unwrap them, read the book, submit a small review, and then at the end of the month there will be a drawing both for the adults and for a young adult for a prize.
Very good.
And then we've got several events going on for March. We've got a board game day, and that's March 1st. March 8th, we've got a video game day where we will be playing Mario Kart for the Wii. We've got several different craft programs that go on, including we've got one that's really neat that I'm looking forward to, fairy lights made out of mason jars. And then March 22nd, which will be spring break for most of the high schools in this area, we're going to make bag ice cream. So that should be really great. And then I'm really excited about our new young adult book club. And that is a program that will get several books in, and we'll read a specific book each month and then review that book at the end of the month, and we have really great discussions. But it's been a really great experience so far.
Wow. Sounds like Ginger there. This Ginger too. Katie, that's great. I must ask, when you see young people like Katie who are just getting out of college here, and young people are different today than they were when I was in school and when Ginger was in school. But I must say, listening to her talk about this with the excitement in her voice and being a part of the library, why? So tell me a little bit about your education. Are you going into this as a career? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, originally I studied literature, political science, and theater, and I've always really loved the library. I've worked there for several years, just part-time, and I volunteered when I was younger, and I really appreciate what the library does for a community, and I think our library is really great for our community, and I'm currently thinking about going further with my education in library science.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Katie, by the way, she's a local girl. I asked her. She's from Alpena, so she went to school at Alpena and then went on to college, and she's out of college. And it's great to see young people like Katie being involved in a library like the Boone County Library, because times have changed, and children today, and that's okay, young people today and children are different than they were 50 years ago, and it's a whole new lifestyle, new thinking, and so forth. Katie, what do you see from young people your age very quickly? Do you see getting back into wanting to read and be knowledgeable in that business, or is it?
A lot of reading takes place more through electronic devices. We've got like Kindles and iPads, stuff like that, which I think it's really great that we are able to use these mediums to continue reading. I think that's great, and I think that libraries in the future will start to go more in that direction with technology. Yeah,
you probably see that down there as well.
Well, we have several thousand titles that you can check out for your e-reader. It's called Library to Go, and so you never even have to leave your home. You can just download it on your device using your library card number. And I have a friend who used to be in the library all the time, and I don't think she's been in there in a year because she does all her reading from home, and if she's out of town, she gets her. You can go anywhere and download a book. But I think one of the most frequently asked questions we've had at the library and with telephone calls in the last month has been, do you have the federal and state income tax forms? We are the distribution spot for those. So yes, we have federal and state forms now. I was in our main post office over the weekend, and they've got a big sign on the front door that says, "We do not have federal and state tax forms." So if you need those forms, they're at the library.
That's fantastic. That's great. Well, as you can see, I mean, we spent about 15 minutes with these two ladies and talked about the library, and we only touched on some of the things they do. The Boone County Library has lots and lots of things for everybody. Everything from filing your tax forms correctly, getting the forms there, and online reading, of course, checking out books, being a part of the book club, as Katie mentioned, young adult programs, and of course Ginger has all kinds of programs going down there. So don't forget about your Boone County Library. It's a great place to go. Go down and check it out and say hello to these young. Thank you both for coming in. We appreciate it. And Katie, glad to meet you, and hope to see you again with Ginger here sometime. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a gentleman from a program here called the House of Hope.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud. Harrison is a Health Mart town. Sam Alexander Pharmacy on the square downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times. They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified personnel, plus 24-hour towing service. Ozark Auto Body in Harrison, always taking pride in excellence. Welcome back to Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, we appreciate you joining us on the show today. For the second half of our show, a gentleman from the House of Hope, which is right here in Harrison, down across from Edwards Grocery, been here for a while, Larry McCulley, who runs the operation down there. And Larry, thank you for coming back in, operations manager there. You came in and talked to us back when you kind of first started, so it's been a while. You've been there. When did we get that started?
It's actually about a little over 3.5 years now.
I knew it had to be 3
12.
plus years.
Yeah.
Wow, it goes by so quickly.
You better believe it. Too fast.
It does. Tell a little bit about the House of Hope. For those of you that may not know what it is and what it's for, I'm going to let Larry explain just a little, and then we want to talk about some specifics.
Yeah, we basically, the first thing I want to dispel is that we're not a quote-unquote shelter in the sense that we cannot shelter people overnight. It's just not a city ordinance or permitted at our facility. But we do help people during the day, 8 to 4, basically Monday through Friday, and we have breakfast and lunch served every day, hot meals. We have shower facilities for both the men and the women. We offer a variety of services. One of the big efforts we're really finding successful and important is job search. So we really want to help the people, get the stable jobs. That's one of the big reasons that they're homeless or having a difficult time is having lost a job. So we are working with both many of the agencies throughout town and as well as some of the companies themselves too, and just making contacts, letting them know that we have a source of some resources available to them possibly if they're in a hiring mode. So that's been working out extremely well. We kind of like that, and I think the people, we have about a 70% success rate of the people that go out on interviews get jobs. So we're really pleased that we've been able to do that and help them.
Another thing, of course, obviously homeless people are not necessarily homeless all the time, but could be homeless all the time, but they need help. They need financial help. They need food. They need shelter. One thing that I know that Larry and his staff down at the House of Hope that they will do for them is they've got connections with DHS and all the other agencies that are a part of the program. And I'm sure people come in and say, we're living in our car, or we're living in a tent or whatever.
Yes.
So, and you know where to go to at least get them going in the right direction, because
yes.
it's kind of complicated for people.
It really is, and many of them really don't know the various services that are available right here in Harrison. And we kind of look at ourselves now as kind of one-stop shopping in the sense that we do know all the agencies and the different services they can provide. If the situation is severe that they absolutely don't have a place to sleep, we can help them with a motel room for a couple of nights while we sort of work through the situation, kind of better understand, how they became into that situation, and then see what kinds of services within the community are readily available. And just like earlier we were speaking about how long some of these things take. Now I know to apply for different services, first thing you need is a photo ID, and we find that a lot of people, because of moving around, they've lost those files, and we're able to go ahead and get a birth certificate for them within 3 to 4 days, and then we get them up to DHS and Social Security and get their IDs available to them so that they can sign up for the various programs that'll help them out.
Obviously, House of Hope is like many agencies. They're always struggling for finances and operational money. One thing that the House of Hope, I think you do you apply for a government grant as does a little help?
Yes, there is a grant. It's called ESG, Essential Services Grant, and sponsored by HUD. And we've been able to obtain some funds from them. The thing that's a little bit misleading is that they only supply about 20% of our total annual budget. So there's still 80% that we kind of really need the community's help with, and the community has been extremely helpful over the last several years, and we have been really blessed just recently, a few weeks ago, that we had an anonymous donor come to us with an offer of $25,000. That's the biggest donation we've ever seen or in our existence. So we were just really excited, and we're reaching to the point to where I think with last week's donations that we received, we've actually hit that mark. We've hit the $25,000 mark, which will allow us to receive all the funds from this anonymous donor. So we're really excited about that, because that's something we've never had in the past to help us through the rough times and reach more people. That's the whole idea, to be able to help more people.
You know, if you think about that $25,000 from an anonymous donor, and then you match that with another $50,000 for House of Hope is a lot of money. But they constantly need more money. And if you're out there and you want to find out a little bit more about what they do, go by and see Larry, and he can explain a little bit more to you, or you can see what they have. They really have a nice building. It's right down across from Edwards Grocery. You can't miss it there. And they're always needing donations. If somebody wanted to make a donation, how would they go about doing that? If they just
we can come by and see us, drop off cash or check. We can offer receipts on the spot. We also have a Facebook account and a website. That website has a donation button. It's hopeofharrison.org is the website, and on Facebook we have a connection to the website for donations. That's electronically, and it's PayPal or credit card, so it's very, very easy. In this electronic age, is just another way for to make it convenient for people. But that would be those would be best ways. You can drop a check in the mail to us. We return receipts for everything that we receive, so it can be account for that. But that would be, those are the multiple ways that you can, make a donation. If it's an object, we have some clothing or food donations is something that we really depend on. And you can just, stop in and see Donna, our kitchen manager. And we're just got a donation recently of about 65 pounds of chicken. So we're set up for a little bit on some chicken enchiladas and chicken soup. So we're in good shape there.
Another thing that Larry was talking about is the fact that the House of Hope here in Harrison, they have the ability to feed people during the week, during the daytime hours at their facility. But, of course, on the weekends, sometimes that makes it difficult. We were just discussing that they have just recently opened up they're calling it like a soup kitchen at White Oak Station on Pine Street, just across from the junior high school, and that is on Saturday and Sunday. And Steve Lair and Steve Turner, who own White Oak Stations, along with Sharon Care, Joey Prater and her staff, are staffing that facility during the midday and afternoon at the White Oak Station on Pine Street. So if you know of somebody out there that maybe doesn't have a place to get food on the weekends, as a supplement to what Larry and his staff are doing during the week, they now have that open. So I wanted to mention that on the air because it is just recently opened up, and sharing care and so forth. So if somebody wanted to volunteer out there, if you happen to have a little extra time and you're maybe retired or whatever, and you'd like to help out with the House of Hope, how would they go about, or what's some of the needs, I guess, you have?
Well, we ask people to come on in, sit down with us, and basically we like to understand what it is they personally would like to do. We want to match up, what they want to be involved with, what they like doing, with what our needs are. But some of those is just simple kitchen help, helping prepare foods, just serving the meals. It's not a lot of people every day, but the extra help will really give Donna. She's there full time all week, and it would really give her some relief. And then we also have mentors or case managers that simply, when we have a new client come in, we will interview them with about it's actually about 17 pages long interview form, but we just kind of want to understand, a little bit about their life, and see that helps us understand then what agencies we can go to find the best type of help for them. And mentors and case managers can help do that. And then we would really like for some of the volunteers to follow up with a phone call, just see how they're doing and see if there's any additional questions. Sometimes they may get to an agency and get more confused or get pointed in the wrong direction, and just want to make sure, hey, you can come back to us, and we'll help figure that out. And with that legal aid service, we can get them involved as well. So that would really help. But and then back office, we do have a database we maintain for the state of Arkansas. That's a homeless database that they keep, and we can help with data entry there. And then just some letters and filing, just sort of office administrative type activities is a third area that we can always use some help.
Something a lot of people don't think about. Obviously, Larry and his people at the House of Hope, they see all kinds of people. But believe it or not, right here in our viewing area, we have a lot of people that need help. It's because of the economic conditions that we're in these days. Somebody loses a job, or maybe can't find a job, or whatever. I'm sure, Larry, you probably get all ages and so forth down there. Do you get a lot of families, or you get mostly individuals, or kind of a mix of everything?
Yeah. Well, we do get a mix, but we do get, the more difficult situations are the families. And many times the family, it's a single mother with children. And that makes it kind of rough because she's got a job to look for and babysitting. So it's kind of rough. But we work with Shirley Smothers at the Harrison Independent School District, and we work together, and she kind of is aware of families that have special needs and need some help, and so we can reach out to them. Then we do have, the single people that come in that have had particular trouble. We have had a couple of veterans come in that were struggling to get stabilized, and we've worked with the VA office in Fayetteville, and they've been very helpful. And just a piece of information, we've actually surpassed our 1,000 mark now. We have seen over 1,000 people in the 3.5 years that we've been there. So we feel, we are touching the community, and we're trying to help, the best we can, and look for the right type of service for those specific needs.
If you think about that, as Larry mentioned, over 1,000 people in a 3-year plus period of time is a lot when you're talking about a community the size of Harrison. We're not a populated area. Even our county size compared to metropolitan areas is small. But that's a lot of people. That's a big percentage of the people that are in this area that need help. If you happen to be out and about sometime, and if you're retired, like say you've got extra time, you want to know more about the House of Hope, Larry'd be happy to help you. You can go down there, and you're there, I know, a lot during the week. And that
yes, yeah. And something we just ran in a situation, I think yesterday or Friday, that we've had, you may see them in the paper sometimes, house burns. Mm-hmm. And many times these people, what they need to do if they're in where their house gets destroyed by fire or some kind of natural catastrophe, they need to contact the local Red Cross. And then we're trying to work with Red Cross so that when they come across a client that's in that situation, they notify us so that we can sort of get a little head start on what their needs will be.
That's
we
great.
Had a family come in Friday with that exact situation, and we helped them out over the weekend. And now we're working to see what we can do for a longer-term basis to help them out.
That's fantastic. Larry, thank you so much. Larry McCulley coming in to talk to us about the House of Hope right here in Harrison. You can see from everything he's told us here today, very much needed in this area. They serve a great cause and a great purpose for those that are less fortunate. So if you can help them out, donation-wise or otherwise, go by and see Larry. Larry, thank you for coming in. We appreciate you coming and talking to me today.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for talking to the community.
Thanks for joining us on Connection. We hope we brought good information to you. We'll see you again next time.
Local television worth watching. KTKO Channel 8, Harrison.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. There's a Polaris to match your passion. Whether you ride mud, rocks, dunes, or trails, Razor leads the way. With unequaled power, unrivaled suspension, unmatched agility, and unbeatable comfort. Perfectly combined to chase what matters.